What's up, Reece? What's
Oh,
your thoughts
shit.
on this? You don't think that we should be criticizing Donald Trump on the effects that he's having on our American citizens so far?
Hell yeah, ain't nobody above criticism. Just make sure you go back and double up on your research. Make sure you're not being lied to.
Mm.
So there's a lot of lies being put out there, and it's hard to juggle all this bullshit.
Okay, I can agree with that. It is hard to juggle everything because both parties is putting out false information. Like the Doge is putting out information that they found this money and they stopping programs, but they stopping programs after the program was finished. And talking about they saving money. You ain't saving no money. The program is already, the money is spent. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so imagine Reece, I'll come to you and say, hey, we got to clean up our spending. And I say, oh man, we done spent $100 last month on this. And I'm acting like I just saved us $100. It's not saving. The money is spent.
Yo, the best thing I could tell everybody is to do extensive research, right? Because I'm not sure where I stand with any of this shit anymore. Because I've been running into a lot of BS, and the deeper I look, the more BS I find. So there's like 3 or 4 different narratives to every situation, and you just gotta pick one, man. You gotta pick, because they've been saying, listen, but in Trump's defense, they've been saying the same shit for the last 10 years. All of this horrible shit that they said was going to happen never happened. Eggs are cheaper, gas is cheaper. Like, there's some things to look at, man. Huh?
You said where eggs are cheaper?
Eggs are cheaper than they were a week ago. So you can bring some liars up here if you want. I'll start Googling
No,
shit. Like
last week my eggs was
no.
So you want me to look up egg prices?
Yeah, matter of fact, yeah, because you know what? Because they could be lying. They could be lying. And that Google shit could be lying. You know,
that's true too. So let's see what. Hey yo, what would you like to bring to the conversation at this point?
Hey, peace again. Sharon, yeah, thanks for letting me on again. Yeah, morning to the rest of the panel from Britain. I hit the link again because I heard you speak about what's the word? Tariffs. And as you can tell from my accent and me previously saying I'm in Britain. One thing that I will respect is the tariffs that Trump put on the European Union. Long story short, the European Union, it absolutely ruined Britain. For example, in 2016, I was one of those that voted to leave the European Union because of how much the European Union crippled Britain. So I'm very happy that Trump's putting tariffs on the European Union, and I hope he crumbles the European Union with tariffs.
Yeah, but the problem is that won't happen with his tariffs, because they get on the European Union, they get a lot of things from that side of the world, right? And as long as they got their foot on the Africa neck, they're gonna be good. So they don't buy a lot of stuff from us in the first place.
Yeah, yeah, that's probably true. Because I'll be honest, I don't know. I'm not sure what the EU buys from America. Right. Yeah, you're probably right.
Right, you don't have a bunch of Mustangs and out there. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got a bunch of.
We got Chevrolets though, but we don't have any Mustangs. Well, actually, I don't know about the EU, but here we got Chevrolets. We ain't got Mustangs though. Actually, we do. We got Ford Mustangs, but only soccer players. I think soccer players drive them, but I'm not sure.
It's so expensive, right? Exactly. So yeah, so they're not gonna. It ain't gonna work. And eggs is up 36% from last year. Reece.
Say what?
It's up 36% from last year. The eggs has went down from what the height of what the egg price is, but it's still up 36% from last year.
Last year, right? So
yeah,
last week when I was on the show and everybody was talking about egg prices are going through the roof and going to get even higher. They have dropped since then. Literally 100% of everything everybody says turns out to be wrong, and that's what bothers me. That's what bothers me, man.
So, but
there's lies.
They still much, but they still much higher than it was last year. However, it has went down in price, but it's still up 36% from last year, though.
All right, watch this. Watch this. It's a Democratic trick. They're throwing egg prices out there because eggs actually are up from last year. But everything else on this entire country went up, sky through the roof, while Kamala and Biden were in office. So if eggs were 1,000 times higher than they were a year ago, it don't matter.
So,
It don't even matter because you were paying more for everything else.
Here's the problem with your argument. First of all, we don't need to worry about what Biden and them did, right? Because they got out, right? But if we wanted to talk about Biden, we did very well when the world was under inflation, because it wasn't just America's inflation. It was the world went under inflation because of the whole situation with the jab and the vid and everything, right? So the whole world went under inflation, and America did very well under inflation. So we don't want to really talk about Biden, but we can just talk about the last 60 days and how things is going.
All right, look, everybody should go study the Constitution, except for those same two dumbass amendments that always study. Study the whole goddamn thing, because there's reasons in the constitutional reasons why the Democrats conspired with Fauci and China to give that to the world to slow Trump's administration down. Because if you pay attention, Trump beat all his cases right before that happened, and he was literally about to legally handle all of them. Right?
What you mean?
So that's why they did what they did. They had to put a stop to that, and they also had to gaslight everybody else emotionally and racially in order for him to lose the election, which that didn't even work. Right?
So what you mean he won the case?
Remember when he was impeaching him and all that? Remember all that shit?
He got convicted for 34 felonies. What you mean he won?
He isn't convicted for anything.
He is convicted.
He's convicted for anything. Not even one thing. He hasn't been convicted for one single thing.
Hold on, he's convicted. He just never got sentenced.
My goodness.
What you mean? Do I got the wrong information?
You ain't never been to jail, so you're convicted when you're behind bars, though.
Right, because you worrying about the sentence part. I get it. That's when you
everything's open. It's all under appeal. It's not even done yet. He's not convicted of nothing. It's not even done yet, dog. Everything's going back again. You know what I'm saying?
How can you appeal if you haven't been convicted yet?
So you're saying because he was able to use the presidency to get rid of all those charges, that means that he wasn't guilty of those charges.
He used the presidency to get rid of those charges?
Yes.
How do you do that?
Because he signed an executive order, meaning that he cannot be prosecuted anymore.
I would have done that too. Because that way liars.
That's
you take the liar's power away.
Okay, that's fine. That he, okay.
Wait.
Hold on, so Reece. Hold on, Reece. So Reece, hold on. But the problem is this. Okay, so fine. He was able to do what he used his power to get out of being officially convicted and actually doing some kind of probation time or whatever it would have been, right? However, that doesn't make him innocent of the crime.
Well, he's innocent of the crimes because he's innocent. You know he didn't do any of those things. Everybody dumb. Mar-a-Lago is worth maybe $1 billion. What the fuck is everybody talking about? I don't understand how stupid human beings are. Y'all crazy, man?